Hello, and welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show World Cup Daily. We're going to go a little broader than the World Cup today. We've got a bit of everything. We've got an anticlimactic start to the Super 8s, a massive result in the women's T20 series between Australia and India, and New South Wales punching their ticket through to the domestic one-day cup final. If you're enjoying the shows, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe on the channel, get involved in those comments. Let us know what's happening in your world in terms of your views on cricket, and of course, share it around to your cricket-loving friends. And if you want some extra clips and daily content around our sporting landscape, make sure to follow our social media channels at The Chris Mack Show on your favorite social media platforms. But let's get into it. Let's start with that anticlimactic start with New Zealand and Pakistan in the Super 8s in the World Cup. No cricket at all. They got a toss in, but that was as excited as we got. New Zealand and Pakistan will share the points after rain washed it out without a ball being bowled. Salman Ali Agha did win the toss. They opted to bat, but the drizzle started during the toss chat and never gave them a window to get started. They waited over 2 hours. Puddles formed on the covers, and the umpires eventually made the inevitable call with the rain set in. In terms of anything to take away from it, Pakistan had left out Khwaja Nafai and brought in Fakhar Zaman. I don't know whether that's a sign of intent or whether it was just situational. While New Zealand made 3 changes, most notably welcoming back captain Mitchell Santner. The big picture, both teams get on the board, but there's now less margin for error with just short Super 8 schedules. They'll need to make sure they win one, if not both, of their remaining games to book their ticket through to the semi-finals. Moving along, we go to Australia and India in the T20 Women's Series, the third T20, and India have wrapped up the series. They've earned it the hard way, but they've got it done. They make 176 for 6 and beat Australia by 17 runs to win the third T20 and wrap up the T20 series segment of the overall tour. Smriti Mandana and Jemima Rodriguez were the story. A brilliant century partnership that powered India to a huge total here at Adelaide. Mandana grows into the innings. She finished with 82. Rodriguez added 59, and they just kept the boundary pressure on right throughout those middle overs to make sure the total was an imposing one. They did wobble late, India, a mini collapse at the death, but the platform was already strong enough. They managed to get themselves to setting a target of 177 for the Australians. Speaking of Australia, their chase, it never settled after a top order wobble. They were 32 for 3 early, sparked by Indian off-spinner Shreyanka Patil, who nailed a big comeback game. Patil removed Georgia Vole and Elise Perry, finished up with 3 for 22, while left-arm spinner Sri Charani backs it up with 3 for 32. Ashley Gardner did fight hard in the middle order with 57 off 45 to give Australia somewhat of a sniff, but a brilliant deep catch from Jemima Rodriguez to dismiss Gardner basically flipped the game back India's way. Australia faded late, and it's a big one historically. It's their first bilateral series defeat at home since 2017, and the next chapter now, the series will shift to the one-dayers starting Tuesday at Allan Border Field, where the Aussies will look to get one back. We tick along now to the Australian One-Day Cup, and a massive result for New South Wales in their last regular season game. They set themselves by bowling well to need just 274 against Tasmania, but they had to get it done inside 40 overs to lock in a spot in the final, and they absolutely smoked it. Curtis Patterson went ballistic, playing like it was a T20, 125 not out off 89, and New South Wales get it done with 19 overs to spare. That's right, they got it done in 31 overs, chasing down 274. Josh Felipe provided a turbo boost early with 58 from 29, while Chris Green's explosive hitting finished the job with 47 off 45 not out. With the ball, Ryan Hadley, huge again, 5 for 69, continuing a ridiculous patch against Tasmania. The outcome means that New South Wales will now back up against Tasmania again in the final on March 11th in Hobart. In the other 2 games, where sides were also trying to chase finals berth, Queensland beat South Australia by 125 runs, powered by Marnus Labuschagne's 126, and a monster spell from Mitch Swepson, 7 for 28. But it still wasn't enough to make the final because New South Wales' chase was just too electric. Western Australia in the final game chased down Victoria's 230 inside 40 overs. Campbell Kellaway made 105 for Victoria, but it was to no avail. Joel Curtis, 91, and Cameron Bancroft, 70 not out, got WA home. That does mean, though, due to the bonus points, WA will finish 4th, just outside the final, while Victoria will finish the season on the bottom of the table. We look forward to the One Day Cup final in a few weeks' time down in Hobart. As we said, March 11, Tasmania versus New South Wales. Let's move on to our previews, and we've got a couple of games in the World Cup plus a little bit more to talk about. Let's start with Sri Lanka and England, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And England, look, they might actually feel slightly relieved that the Super 8s are here, it's fair to say. The group stage was messy, nervy, they were on edge and way too close for their comfort. Sri Lanka, they'll return to Pallekele, where they torched Australia and whipped the crowd into full World Cup frenzy, even if they have come off that little bit disappointing surprise loss in the dead rubber to Zimbabwe. England will have recent confidence. They won all 3 T20s on their Sri Lanka warm-up tour last month, but none were comfortable. And those near misses in the group are still sitting in the back of their minds, undoubtedly. The key names, Pathum Nissanka is the headline act for Sri Lanka. When he gets going, games turn quickly in the home side's favour. For England, Adil Rashid is absolutely central. If his 4 overs land and he gets spin support, England's whole plan works. If he has an off night, it can unravel rapidly for them. Keep an eye on selections for England. They may tweak their seam mix. They may come for the pace of Luke Wood over Jamie Overton. Sri Lanka will be without Mathisha Patharana for the rest of the tournament, while Dilshan Madashaka is now in the mix. Secondly, we've got India and South Africa, and some are calling this the final before the final. This will be just after midnight Australian Eastern Daylight Time. It's a blockbuster to start Super 8's Group 1. India have been winning without fully exploding. It's almost like they've been in fourth gear. South Africa are unbeaten and look seriously polished in the group stages. The headlines, the 2 openers, Ishan Kishan for India and Aiden Markram for South Africa. Both have been setting the tone for their respective sides early and are key to their performances. India are likely to bring Axar Patel back after a rest, so keep an eye there. While South Africa's big call is which quicks do they pick? Lungi Ngidi and will be an obvious selection. Will it be Kagiso Rabada or Anrik Nortje in this game? They'll all come down to horses for courses, you'd think. Speaking of South Africa, their women's side get their one-day series underway against Pakistan tonight, 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. A key absence for this one-day international series will be Marizanne Kapp. She misses the series with illness and a precautionary resting. Faye Cowling, who's 18 years old, will get her maiden call-up into the ODI squad and will certainly be one to watch. South Africa did win the preceding T20 series 2-1, taking out the first 2 games before Pakistan got back the third game. It'll be key to watch, see how they go. South Africa will certainly shape as favourites on home soil. Well, that's your wrap. A washout to open the Super 8s. India pinching a massive win in Adelaide, and New South Wales surge into the One Day Cup final with a statement explosive chase. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe on the channel, hit like on the video, get involved in the comments, and share it around to your cricket-loving mates. And of course, keep up with all the extra contents at The Chris Mack Show. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. We look forward to catching you next episode here on your home of the Black and White of Sports. No grey opinions.